Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday to all of you. It's my favorite day. You are talking with Terry here on Tuesday. So much juiciness for us tonight. Just writing out tonight what we're going to talk about. I think there's a lot of us that can relate to this. If you've ever been a business owner, if you've ever been an entrepreneur, this topic is going to resonate with you, I promise. All right, everyone, let's get this party started. All right, so who do I give my resignation letter to? Okay. I heard this the other day and I thought this is brilliant. Anyone that has owned a business, been an entrepreneur, there's ever you question, like, who do I hand in my resignation to? Have I had those days? So if you've ever owned a business, been an entrepreneur for any length of time, there has been probably at least once, okay, where you thought this, okay? And I will just tell you that you are not alone, my friends. But Terry, I should be, grateful for this, and I should be because I've created this company, and I should be sending and giving all this love and passion and hard work and all this other stuff. Like I should be excited, but there's comes a time as an entrepreneur, we are faced with many, many challenges. Uh, that there comes a time when you ask yourself and question this, okay? So let's get real for a moment, okay? Really, in this moment, I'm going to tell you that we are all human, okay? And when you hear things like, you know, others do not we see and hear things that others do not see and hear, okay? And sometimes you might even question if you're a unicorn or something. You're like, "What is happening? What like, is this my reality? Did this conversation just happen? Did this situation just happen?" And the answer is yes. Yes, it did. And there's sometimes you can't take things back. Even today, I would say that there was a situation that came up kind of unexpectedly, and I'm like, "Wait, what's happening? Like, what that?" Like, and it's not even in our company, okay? But because it's an ancillary asset to us, it has an impact on us. And so if there's things that over here in this company change, it has an impact on us, right? So the number three is that we are often, as entrepreneurs and business owners, we are often the rainmaker, we're often the light bulb fixer, we're also the boss, the head marketer, the sales team, the bookkeeper, and everything else that I failed to mention, and some. Right now, if you have grown your business and you have systems in place and you have people in place, fantastic. Okay. But at some level, all entrepreneurs start out with doing multiple hats. And when we start to build team, it gets easier. I promise you. You outsource those things, and once you have teams, you never look back and be like, "Oh my gosh!" Right? There are times when I remember my first company having and building out a team. I was like, "How am I gonna fill the hours for this other person to come and help me?" Right? And then I filled them not only 20 hours but 40 hours and then beyond. Right? And I'm like, and then that was one person and two people and three and four and five and six and seven and eight, right? And you just keep growing your team. And I'm like, what did I do before? There's sometimes I question, I'm like, what did I do before? Because I still feel, pretty busy and I have team, right? So we also deal with a lot. We deal with, complaints. We deal with staffing issues. We deal with staff in themselves. We deal with excuses. We deal with all sorts of things covered in, from our referrals to our collaborators to the clients to everything in between. And so there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of um, elements that maybe somebody else in a different industry or a different may not even understand or get. Okay. And so if you're on this call and you're like an entrepreneur or in a business, you get this. You understand where I'm going with this, right? And yet, most of us would not trade it in for anything else. All right? Like honestly, like yes, we might have that moment where we're like, wait, who do I turn my resignation letter into? But let's face it, there is something that's deep inside of you that's calling you, speaking to you, that says, I'm not going to give up. And so just honor that there are going to be those days where you are looking for you might have even wrote up your resignation. I hope you have not written up your resignation. That's a whole different level, okay? But 99% of the time, or even 98% of the time, we're in love with what we do. We're in love with who we serve. We're in love with the connections and collaborations and all of it. And so let's unpack this for a moment, because if this is you and you're like, yes, Terry, you're speaking to me. You're this is me. I will say a couple things. Okay, let's get down into it and say the first thing I will say to you is that you are okay. You're beautiful. You're okay. And I just want you to know and hear that we're going to have those days. And I think that we do a disservice by saying, no, everything has to look pretty and perfect. And everything is like, an entrepreneur, like right? I feel like we do a disservice not talking about the grittiness of being a business owner and entrepreneurship. Honestly, I think that we do a disservice, and not everything is peachy and king all the time. And let's just honor that and own that there's going to be those days that's like, what is happening? But here's what I promise you. Okay. I promise you. Okay. I don't make promises very much, but here's what I promise you. The sun will always come back up. We will always start a new day. And it's a perfect time to reset. Okay. So, number one, you're okay. Just take a deep breath. Literally just pause. I was having this conversation earlier today. There's something innate in us entrepreneurs, and I don't know. We get like shuffled out of the mix. I'm just telling you, there's a process that happens, and we're probably not even aware of it. And we get taken to the top, and they're like, oh, who's going to like kick some booty, and who's going to, like take action, and who's going to, get stuff done, and who's going to, and those kind of characteristics of those triple A's. Okay, not saying that there isn't, bees in the mix too, but typically the leaders and typically those folks that are like this have the kind of a similar personality structure to us. And so we get kind of shaken out of the mix, if you will, because we know, hey, you're tenacious, you're going to get it done, you're never going to give up, and you're going to really allow yourself to bring forth whatever that mission, vision, you know, um, passion, purpose that you have, bring it forward. Okay. That's a gift. That's a beautiful thing. And at the same time, I don't know even where I was going with that. But we just got to understand and trust that we're one of those types of personalities. Oh, here's where I was going with that, is that we tend to be in go mode. There's go and there's stop. Okay, there's go. And I remember when I was doing this race car experience, it was so amazing, and there's such great metaphors from this. But this one piece of it, the guy was like, "You never touch the brakes." Okay, that is a rule in NASCAR racing. Okay, you never touch the brakes. Okay, and so as I'm, getting into the race car, that's like, $300,000 car, and you're like, and there's nothing in there, by the way. There's like there's no fanciness. It's just a structure of a car. Okay, and these bars and all this other stuff. You're harnessing. And I remember, like, he's like, the guy up in the tower is like, go, 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 go. You're like pedal to the metal, like you're going. Okay, and they say never, ever touch the brakes, because it can be very lethal and it can be very dangerous, right? And so in order for you to slow down, okay, all you do is you ease up on the gas, okay? You never touch the brake, you ease up on the gas, right? And I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we are just like that. We're like, we have one speed and that's go, okay? And we're never breaking, right? We ease up, but we're never really stopping. And so here's what I'm going to invite us to do is slow up. Okay. Once we got down on the The terminology is spacing me though, on the run Mac or whatever you call it, the exit, where they fix your tires and all that fun stuff. Oh my gosh, I am not a race car driver, although I did it. Anywho, where the pit crew, there goes the pit crew. You could actually, once you're slowed down enough, then you could use your brakes. Okay. So I'm not saying it's never in there, but I feel like that's what we're on. We're on go mode and we're constantly going. And so if we're not taking care of ourselves, what happens is that eventually adds up. And then we're not successful for, our families, our friends, our business, our partners, our collaborators, all of that. Okay. And so we can go down pretty hard. So I'm going to invite you to know this. Feel the feelings when you get frustrated and you feel like that moment you're like, where's the complaint box? Just feel the feelings. Like, and I think sometimes we as entrepreneurs are like, no, let's just numb it out and let's just keep going. Just feel the feelings. Understand that that is part of the process and that is part of what you're feeling, and just honor that. Trust that. Know that is just part of this journey, and find somebody safe. Find a safe. It's really great to have someone that gets you, knows you, and understands you. So if you can find another entrepreneur, another business owner that you can say, hey, and just be really transparent and say, but find that safe person that you can vent to. And here's the rules, if you will. Okay. First, tell the person, I just need to vent, and this is what I need from you. Okay. And tell them what you need. Do not expect them to mind read. Do not expect them to be like touchy feely. Do not expect them to be the fixer. Like, you tell them, I just need you to listen. I just need you to come up with brainstorm ideas for me to help. Whatever it is, you tell them what you need from them. So there's no misunderstanding, because I think sometimes we don't use those opportunities in our best advantage, or it kind of goes haywire. So tell them that you're in an event, tell them what you need, and just say, I just need you to do X. Okay. And if you're another entrepreneur, you're getting it, you're tracking, and you're like, yep, I get you. I'm there, right? And limit it to 5 minutes. If you can do 3 minutes, you get bonus points. Okay. Limit it to 5 minutes or less. Allow yourself to vent, allow yourself to feel it, allow yourself to like blah, right? And then, and if you need to, and I don't normally say this, and I hope I don't even get trouble, because this is a different, if you need to use, and most of you know that I'm not a big cusser. Like I have my moments where if I'm matching and mirroring a client's languaging for sure, but typically 99.9% of the time, I'm not a big cusser. But if it feels like you need to drop some F-bombs, that needs to happen, you do you, boo, okay? Like, whatever it is, express it, release it. We're moving it. We're moving the energy, we're expressing it, and we're moving through it, okay? So keep it under 5 minutes. If you can do three, great. And then the next step is really commit to the reset. Okay. This is where I think oftentimes we will maybe do the venting piece. And what happens with the venting piece is it becomes a venting marathon, and we vent for weeks or months. Okay. It's quick. Okay. And then we commit to the reset, and this is where it's juicy. This is where transformation happens. This is where we don't allow that energy of like angst and whatever else is being created by it to take over. Okay, this is really important. Okay, don't allow it to take over. So one of the things is one, because we're in go mode, we're in gas mode all the time, is like really stepping back and pausing and regulating. I just had this conversation earlier today, and it's like, okay, we are very blessed in that our days are naturally broken up into segments. And so we can utilize that to our advantage. So if you, oh, Dots Digger wants to come up, you want to come say hi? You can come say hi. You can say hi. Okay. Okay, Dots Digger, live and in person. Um, so here's the thing. Oh goodness, your eyes look really scary on there. Sorry, guys. Um, um, so we can regulate our brain. And so our days are broken up into segments. And so these are great opportunities to take a little heartbeat. So if you think about it, you hopping on here right now is a segment. You staying on to the end of this is a segment. You hopping off of here at the end of this, and then you going about, and maybe, it's 8 o'clock here, and Colorado. Um, you might be getting ready for bed, right? You go and take a shower, right? That's a segment. You preparing for bed in your bedtime routine, that's a segment. You going to sleep is a segment. You waking up is a segment. You doing your morning routine is a segment. You having your first call or, first cup of coffee is a segment. That first call, that first meeting, that first whatever that is, okay? And you go through your day. And we have these opportunities anytime we have in between there, these little small slivers of time, we have a moment. It's a beautiful moment. Don't forget to wrap in and anchor in that moment to really be intentional with what is that next segment going to bring you? What is that next intention for that segment? Maybe this next segment for me is to wind down. These calls always get me fired up because I'm so excited. I'm so passionate about it, but I got to wind down. And so, like, my next segment is going to be most likely a bath and winding down and setting the intention that I'm just going to wind down, release, prepare for, this evening. So, what is that segment? And the other thing is that we can use, and if we just build in just a little buffer time, okay, I'm not asking a lot, just some buffer time to regulate the nervous system. Okay. Um, Havering is a great technique that I'm just gonna demonstrate it here. And even as you see me, I have lots of energy. And so just by rubbing your hands, there's a couple different things that we can do just to help regulate the nervous system. And when we regulate the nervous system, what we do is just we ground ourselves, right? And so just by simply rubbing your hands like this, taking your hands and almost like giving yourself a hug here, and then rubbing down from your shoulder to your elbow. As you can feel that, and you want to do this along with me, you're welcome to do so. You can actually feel yourself, right? And you might even set some intentions when you're doing this, like I feel calm and complete, or, why is it so easy for me to relax and let go? What would it take for me to create ease and joy, or what would it take for me to create peace in my body right now? Okay. And so you can ask some generative questions along with this. This is so yummy, right? And what we're doing is we're activating actually the neurotransmitters in our brain. We're activating the serotonin in our brain. We're activating all these chemicals to really support ourselves. And the other thing you can do, just don't look at my nails, okay? I don't have my nails on. And so I feel like I'm like naked, okay? So don't look at them, okay? And you can just rub your face. And actually, when we are doing this, we're engaging like 90 times the amounts of chemicals. And we're just allowing ourselves to fully regulate. And you can actually hear it in my voice. Can't you hear it in my voice? It's like, wow, we're calming down Dory. So, okay, you can just feel it, right? I can feel it. So it doesn't require much. That might have been, I wasn't actually timing it, less than a minute, maybe spending 2 minutes on that and just allowing yourself to ground in. Now, there's 1,001 exercises that you can do. Most of you know that I keep essential oils around because that's like my little go-to. I always am wearing essential oils, putting it on multiple times a day. I just love it, love it, love it. I've made my own concoctions. I share some of my concoctions online. But feel free to grab some of those ones that you resonate with, the sense that you resonate with, please do so. Um, I have this one that I just absolutely love. It's called Abundance that I've kind of concocted. And I've also done this one that's called Relax that I've concocted. And it's just, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You can also do different types of tapping, right? Some of you know the clearing exercise. You can absolutely tap into that. You can also be really mindful of asking those generative questions and just asking, like, what else is possible? Even if we just ask that question, I wonder what else is possible, really to shift the energy for you, okay? And I would invite you, if you have not, received my book, please go grab the book because there's over 70 different tools that you can use. All of them are under 2 minutes. Most of them, I'd say about 80% of them are under, 30 seconds. Okay. So they're really easy to use. fantastic, okay? Just to regulate the brain, the body, and the spirit so that you can create more and generate more and keep going, right? I'm not telling anyone to stop. I'm not telling anyone to put on the brake and be like, run, back that up. I am just saying, like, let's just regulate and let's just tap into your pure positive energy and utilize that as the fuel to move you forward in a holistic and I'm going like this, like, because I think sometimes we can get scattered energy, and I think that's a big challenge that we have is that we get scattered energy. And so bringing that energy back in, unifying that energy so that we can really be intentional moving forward. And the last thing is I'm going to invite you to go back to your why. Why did you start this company? Why, are you here to do what you're doing? What was that calling? What was that first indicator? What was that moment that maybe in for us, some of us, we fell into it, some of us grew into it, some of us, we just knew. So whatever it was for you, but what was that why? What was that burning, passionate sensation that you're like, yep, this is worth, giving up a paid full salary with benefits, with vacation to pursue my dreams. Because when you tap back into that why, there is no there's no better force when we tap back into that why. So tap back in, get that clarity, gain that clarity, have that moment, okay? Have that moment back into where did you come from? Where did you look for? And if you have never really taken the time to look back at where you started and where you've come, I would encourage you all today, this weekend, to do that. Because I think so often we get in the mode of creating and generating and we lose sight of where we came from. And so just taking a moment just to honor, okay? I came across, no joke, an old I was doing something, cleaning out a filing cabinet, and came across an old, my old taxes from when I first started my business. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, whoa, like where I came from and where I'm like, it was like night and day. So, of course, like I'm shredding everything that I needed to shred. And then I'm like, I'm keeping this bad boy, right? This is evidence, right? This is where I started. This is where, and I keep it on my shelf because every once in a while I kind of need a reminder, like where I started from. And I have an old planner. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember those, like planners that you wrote in, paper planners that you had schedules on it in your like client stuff. I have one of my very first, that first year that I took the great leap of faith into my own business. I have that first planner still. And I remember looking at my appointments and oh my gosh, like there was like nothing on it. And I was like, what did I do with my day? Right? Perspective, right? All perspective, but really tapping back into that and look at where you've come and just re-engaging, your passion for what you're here to do and what you're here to serve and think about those clients, those people, the communities that you're here to serve. And if you don't have a blue folder, I'm going to encourage you to get a blue folder. A blue folder. What do you ask? What are you saying, Terry? Okay, here's a blue folder. Anybody in the therapy world probably knows about the blue folder because I feel like I think it's industry standard blue folder situation, but I think all industries need a blue folder. Okay. And a blue folder is this. And one of my old interns that I was supervising gave me a blue folder on her last day. And I was like, oh, this is so sweet. A blue folder, okay, is literally a blue folder. Okay. Now she fancied it up and made it all pretty and put this like really cool saying inside of it. Now, if you're not, a crafter, you don't have to go that distance, okay? Just get a blue folder. Go to Home Depot. I'm not Home Depot, Office Depot, wherever you get your office supplies, and get a blue folder. And what she did was, and she put a letter in it and just talking about her gratitude to me for being a supervisor for her. And so she in the blue folder, she explained what a blue folder was, but essentially was Cliff Note version here is that anytime you are feeling blue, you can go to your blue folder, and this is where you keep all those juicy letters that your clients give you, that your power partners give you. Maybe it's an email that someone writes to you that it's giving you, glowing reviews. You print it out, you put it in your blue folder. And anytime you're feeling blue, isn't that cute? You go to your blue folder. Okay. And it's just one of those reset reminders that allows us to say, you know what? Yep, I am doing great work. I am, here making an impact. And it just gives you a little pat on the back, right? And keeps you going. All right. And so it's a great fuel to keep you going and doing the work that you're doing. Okay. So I hope that's been helpful. If this has resonated with you, please like, love, and share. I'm going to drop down here too. If you've not come over and checked out and subscribe to Talking with Terry TV, please do so. The link is right down below. If you're on YouTube already, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring others to come to the party, right? Actually, on Friday, this Friday, we are doing another film day. We have some incredible guests coming on board. Some people that you won't even believe. We have some incredible sponsors coming on board. And so we are doing big things. We are dreaming big, being big, and we are really here to support everybody in leveling up our lives and our businesses by really having the conversations that matter and bringing on guests that can really help support us in doing so. So check it out. Go get registered. Don't look at my nails. Go get registered, subscribe, and make sure that you're hitting that notification bell because the notification bell will be notifying you anytime we have new episodes dropping and all the behind the scenes. You will cannot wait. We just did some more filming today. And so I want to make sure that you are in the know and you get all of this exciting information first. Okay? Because I want you to get it. I want you to be filled up by it and continue in this path, in this journey. Okay. Massive love to all of you. Mwah! Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be the magic of you. Have a fabulous week, and I'll see you here next Tuesday at 8 p.m. MST time. We'll see you then. Bye bye.